It's time for a reality check.
We're here to deconstruct health and fitness trends and provide tangible advice so you can become 1% better with each choice starting today. Welcome back to this episode of Reality Check. We are your hosts, Jess and Jill, and today is a really big deal because we want to welcome our first ever Reality Check guest. However, Jessica would like to do a more formal introduction of this guest today. So, Jessica.
Okay. So this guest, she's kind of a big deal. She is our personal hype girl. This means a lot. I would like to just let you guys know I used to hold that title amongst our group, and she's taken my role because she's just that cool and funny. We actually are still, like, the jury's out. We haven't met her in person, even though she's our best friend. And we text her every day. So the jury's still out. She might be a bot. We're not sure. This woman is single-handedly redeeming the reputation of Australia after the showing that they had in the 2024 Olympics. She has fueled CVO, that is a title I made up, the Chief Vibe Officer, and a nutrition coach and personal trainer, Christina Lucos.
Lucos?
Did I pronounce it wrong? Now we have to start over.
No, keep it. It's fantastic. It's Lucos.
Oh my gosh, can we we have to start over.
Well, now it's not as fun because she knows your intro.
No, I know, but I'm not saying your name wrong. That's horrible. I just said this is my best friend.
It's like your best friend, but you don't have any idea what they do for work.
Well, Jessica, I do want you to know that in exchange for all of the blackmail pictures you've taken of me, this recording will live forever. So I will stop this and I will restart this one.
Lucos.
You don't talk like that.
Lucos. I'm going to say it Australian. Lucos.
Glucose?
Lucos.
Oh my God, that's your new nickname. She's glucose.
No, it's not.
She's glucose.
Christina Glucose.
Wow. Superior nickname. I can't wait to use this. Today, we wanted to bring Christina on because she really is she passes the vibe check. And actually, she doesn't pass the vibe check. She sets the bar for the checking of the vibes. So we thought it would be super fun. If you listen to the last Unhinged episode or Jess or I personally, that however many minutes we are into this, that this is going to be a very unhinged episode for your entertainment pleasures, of course. So we're going to go Q&A style with this one because we can learn a lot from Christina, and we thought it would also be fun. The best part is she actually doesn't really know what we're going to ask her.
No, this is completely off the cuff. So it is what it is. We'll see if it turns out great, but she has a great amount of knowledge. She's a really, really good in-person personal trainer. And she had her own business for a couple of years before joining and starting with Fueled. She's a great nutrition coach. So you guys will learn something and hopefully enjoy it along the way.
Yeah, it'll be fun listening and we'll make sure there's some value in there. Jessica,
okay.
Would you like to?
I have a lot of questions.
Okay.
One, have you ever been bitten by a wombat?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I knew this was coming. The misconceptions that you guys have about Australia is wild. It's like you think we live with like 10-pound tarantulas in our living rooms and take the kangaroos to the supermarket to go get our groceries. I don't think I've ever seen a wombat. I'll be honest with you. But so no, I have not been bitten by one. Yeah. No, it's just not. I love the perception of how it is down
aren't
here.
Just like wombats like frolicking in the park or anything?
No frolicking, unfortunately.
It's just city life.
Kangaroo,
you can spot them in certain areas, but like, guys, Melbourne is like one of the most livable cities in the world. It's very, very metropolitanized. Like there's no wildlife like chilling in the streets. Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to the real questions for a little bit. We can come back to some fun questions. So, Christina, we really, really admire you as a coach. We think that you make a huge impact on your client's life. You have excellent retention of your clients. They keep their results long term. What do you think are some of the most important qualities in a really good nutrition coach or personal trainer?
Ooh, okay. Do you know what? Like for me, I'm the first person. I have like a very, very different story to coming into this space. First of all, it wasn't one of those things where I always knew what I would be doing career path, like career wise. I've done 14 different career avenues, 98 different qualifications, and I somehow ended up in this space, which was so not what I was thinking when I was going through school, through university. It just wasn't the path that I had mapped out, but very happy that I'm here. It's been awesome. But for me, what like something that's dawned on me recently is coming from a corporate world, everyone flexes on how much they know. It's all about what they know, all about who can one up the next person with, you know, their knowledge in a particular area or a process that needs refinement and all this kind of stuff. It's all just a flex of knowledge. Whereas in this space, it's more about how you make people feel. So yes, there is the component of knowing what you're talking about from like a nutritional strategy point of view or knowing calories and knowing macros. That's fine. But for me, I want to make an impact on how my clients feel. And so when they turn around to me and they're like, I love our chats, or I really needed that boost today, or whatever it might be, I know that I've done my job, even if it's on the other side of the world, to give someone just like that little bit of confidence, a bit of a pep in their step. And if they feel like shit and they get off the call or through a message exchange feeling better, great. Like that's, for me, that's my job done. And then the results will come. So for me, having a really good relationship with clients one-on-one is more important to me than the tangible result at the end. Because I don't think you can really, like you can have one without the other technically, but that's not a client that's going to have as great of an experience versus another client who just gets their macros and then off they go. And then you can weigh in once a week and let me know your stats. So
yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot about what you just said too, that not just the relationship, like you have excellent relationships with your clients, but you also know when it's appropriate to give certain guidance to different people based on their life circumstance. Like you have the people skills to be like, okay, this is what she's saying is a challenge. So I'm going to suggest this as a solution or a option for her, because I think that there are some coaches that really prioritize relationships, but they can't get the physical results. And it's like you have a very good blend of both things. Both things are required. You can't just have the book knowledge or just the relationship piece. You really need to be able to blend them together and know when to pull each tool from your toolbox.
I think that's like the overall like experience of coaching. And I think Jess and I talk about this so often on here, and it's like almost hard to put into words, but I feel like that's it. Like coaching can be an experience. And I think it's because we love what we do so much and we love building the relationships with the clients that it does end up being a very like emotional experience, and that we end up having relationships with our clients forever because we care about that. Whereas it's not, you know, we'll get questions of like, well, how are you different than a macro coach? And I'm like, well, I'm not a macro coach. And
it's again, not transactional.
Yeah. We say so often, it's like, oh, cool. Weigh in, macros done. Have a good week. Talk to you next week. And it's like, yeah, we coach to your behaviors and all of those things. We want the results, but like, we also like want to know you as a person and like, what's going on in your life? What made you happy this week? And like Jess said, I think that balance is it's not about being like relatable. It's just about like being able to connect with people on those different levels. And I think that's like, you can't teach that honestly, like as a coach.
Yeah.
That's
Does
awesome.
it drive you nuts? The thing you said about people in corporate world flexing how much they know and being to the top of their ranking or whatever. Does it drive you nuts seeing coaches online? Because I struggle with that, where I'm like, well, I want to share how much I know all the time because there's all these shitty coaches out there too. And I feel like it starts to be like this thing where I'm like, wait, loosen the grip, because when I'm with my clients one-on-one, I'm meeting them where they are. You know what I mean? Like those conversations with my clients are very different, but I feel like on social media, it's almost like a competition between our own industry on who knows the best and who's the, like, you know what I mean? Like that kind of drives me nuts, but it sounds I feel like what you described in corporate world, I feel myself getting sucked into in this world because of the social media aspect of it only, not my coaching relationships with my people.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, like for me, if social media wasn't an option, I would thrive. It's just, it's not for me. We had yellow pages, like basically phone book directory where you would look up plumbers and carpenters and hairdressers and all of that. Like I am a directory kind of girl, not a social media. Like I didn't sign up to be a content creator, first of all. I don't feel like that's in the job description. Yes, it does have an awesome impact, the ability to be able to reach people. But for me, I love having those conversations in person versus trying to, like, I so get what you're saying. You want to get correct information out there, but you open the internet one day and say that meat's bad for you, then vegetables are bad for you, then you got to check what's in your water, and you shouldn't brush your teeth or put on sunscreen, certain sunscreen because it's going to damage your skin. Then you shouldn't eat grains, and then you should do this and shouldn't do that. It's so much noise, and for me, I'm like, I think I just want to stay out of it. I'll pop on social media here or there, but I would so rather have a one-on-one conversation than try to reach the masses.
Well, at the end of the day, that's where our clients are getting value, is from our one-on-one conversations with them every single week and from us guiding them. Like the only reason that we post stuff on social media is really as okay, cool, we can help some people and hopefully provide some free information for some people. But it's a marketing tool of, hey, here's the service that we're providing at the end of the day. But that service is where you're getting the value. Those conversations that are individual and like those relationships are the value. Not how many followers you can get. And I say that because there's a lot of people who are posing themselves as experts in our industry that don't have the client outcomes that our clients have, because they're able to kind of like manipulate that tool, I guess.
I mean, I think I have like slightly varied perception because I'm the same in that like social media can be exhausting. And sometimes it's like, man, I just want to like live my life and like not take a picture of my food and not record my workout and not whatever. But because I'm like the gateway essentially, and I have so many conversations all day that is like, for me, I like posting so much because when people then start, like it follows up with people inquiring about like, well, tell me more about this, or does this apply to me? Like for me, that's that, like, I could do that all day. And I mean, I do most of the days, but otherwise, like you said, Jess, I think I'm like, maybe because I post so much that I don't even think about that anymore, like in terms of other people, but I'm always like, how can I get people to talk to me more about this stuff? Because that's what I want. Like I want people to feel that this is like open door anytime.
Well, I guess it depends how valuable the information is too. Like all of us try to post stuff that hopefully if people are watching it, they can actually apply some of it and learn. Yes. So if you're getting good information from somebody for free, what are you going to get when you're actually working with them one-on-one? How much more valuable? Like Christina, I can't tell you how many clients I've sent your video on your own journey this past year of your 8-month build and 3-month cut, because it's very relatable for them to see like, oh, okay, it's not scary to gain a little bit of weight during a muscle building phase. And this is the outcome of it for a real person. Like, I feel like if we're providing value in that way versus the pages that are very polarizing or confusing or whatever, because they're going with the trends, they're not actually providing value at the end of the day. Like they're just following the trends,
Yeah. You guys are the best at it though. Like the content that Jill pushes out and Jessie, like when you're on doing all your workout stuff, it's unbelievable. For me, I go in and take a bit more of a casual, less tidy approach.
It's the best though, because it's your personality. Like that is like, it's so likable.
I think you have to be relatable. For me, I see the relationship that some people have with their coaches, and their coach is up here and the client is here. Yes. Whereas I like to be like, hey, let's meet in the middle somewhere. If you want to go and hammer that chocolate cake, I'm like, yeah, girl, I want to get in on that with you as well. This is the one that I would usually eat. But do it in a way that's like still centered around the principles around good nutrition, healthy, balanced life. Like, but I'll be the first one to be like, okay, well, I just demolished a packet of biscuits, or what do you call them? Or cookies. Cookies and biscuits are two different things here, by the way. Yeah, like no issues with sharing that and being honest and transparent, but then being able to dial it in and just have a very transparent, relatable approach to anything that I do on social media. For like the 3.5 people that watch my stories. Let's be honest.
Your stuff is so good. Do you remember the first time that one of Christina's American clients had sausage gravy and biscuits on her breakfast?
And she was, what is this?
She was like, this is the most foul sounding breakfast I've ever heard.
No. So when I had to Google it, I was like, sausage and biscuits. It just sounds a little bit unwell from the start. So I Googled it and the whole meal was gray. It was just all gray. I'm like, this color it's not okay. Anyway, so I was like, all right, this might be a little bit of a work in progress.
Let's add some colors in.
Yeah.
It's really good
though.
What do you think?
So vile.
What do you think are some things that your most successful clients do, or what are qualities that they have, or like, I don't know if it's traits or just their willingness to try things. What are the things that your favorite and most successful clients have in common?
I think it's their communication. I think it's their communication and their willingness to be able to share when things are going super well. Like I love getting a random message being like, oh, just hit a PR on my overhead press, like out of nowhere. I wasn't even feeling like it today. But then they'll also message and be like, things are turning to shit. Everything is a dumpster fire. Like we are on high alert that a breakdown is imminent. And I'm like, yes, okay, let's talk, let's discuss. And maybe it's just listening, and then sometimes it's giving advice or giving input. But the client that's willing to communicate frequently, let me know when things are going well, when things are not going so well, and then being able to navigate those waters and someone just willing to show up and put in effort. Like it doesn't need to be, I say on check-ins every week, we don't need to be moving mountains every week, but is there a pebble that we can keep kicking down the road just to keep making that little bit of 1% progress in different facets each week, just to make sure that you feel like you're moving forward and not staying stagnant. I think communication and just the willingness to show up and put in effort, because even if they feel like they're exhausted and they're putting in 20% effort, it's like, well, they're actually putting in 100% effort if that's all that can be managed on that day. Yeah, so those are the two things that I look for. And I like to outline that when clients are being onboarded. I'll ask them how they like to, receive feedback, and do they want more of a tougher approach or more of a softer, I'll say like hand-holding approach. And then I will then say to them, this is what I expect as a client. Like I expect you to communicate with me. I expect effort, but I don't expect perfection. How does that sound to you? And they're like, great, let's do it. So
that's awesome.
Ironing out those things early.
I always say, like, you need to promise me that when stuff goes hard, when stuff becomes challenging, you can't go into hiding. Because I think it's not like we're not their therapist. They don't need to overshare with us every week. We're not saying that. But the ones who share with us are now opening that door to say, okay, let's do something. Let's make some little change during the hard times. Because if we can help coach you through that stuff, you've got it. Most people can do things when they're feeling motivated and when everything's going right. But like usually people fall off the wagon when life is hard. So like that's the time that it's really impactful if we can help you do 1 or 2 healthy things during those weeks, because then it becomes your new norm and then you're able to continue it forever when you don't have us someday.
Yeah. And that's off the back of a lot of people feeling like they go off the rails, like quote unquote off the rails, but haven't been taught how to get back on. It's like the slashing tires analogy that we talk about all the time. If you slash one tire, if you've got a flat tire, do you get out and slash the other 3, or do you go and repair the tire that's got a nail in it? And you get back on the road and you keep going. So it's those little skills that they don't realize that they're improving on through coaching, probably until the coaching relationship ends and they just go on with regular life and they're like, oh, I can navigate through shittier times.
Like other areas of life too, that I don't think they realize those qualities and those habits and those things that they develop. And like I tell clients, even on their initial call with me, I'm like, do not suffer in silence. Like if you if you had a terrible week and you're like, I didn't do anything, like, why would you not? That's the week 2 check-in. So you're like, I don't even know what to do or how to crawl out of this hole. Otherwise, that would mean that we like expect you to be perfect. And what's the point of coaching at that point? You don't need me if you can be perfect. So, yeah, I love that. And then in terms of like things that you feel like are harder to coach to with clients, like where, just like qualities that you want to see people develop more of, I guess, with coaching. I mean, obviously, I know what you said with communication, but where can things fall short, or where can there be a disconnect in that coaching relationship? Harder question.
I think it depends. Maybe for me personally, because a lot of our clients are mums, they have kids. You guys are all mums, your wives. I live a very different lifestyle compared to the clients that I coach. I don't have children. There ain't no husband that I'm aware of.
Single as a Pringle.
Single as a Pringle, happily so, just saying. But I do try and empathize and put myself in their shoes. Like, who am I to be like, you need to do this, without considering that they have, 2 or 3 small children to take care of and all these other things that are not my world. So I always try and remain empathetic and have that perspective. But truthfully, that can be a bit of a disconnect sometimes, where I probably think I have the best laid out plan in the world for them potentially, but realistically for them to implement, we have to make some little tweaks.
But also you're such a good coach for even saying that, of saying like, is this, I mean, that's the point of coaching, right? Is meeting them where they're at. But I remember us having conversations about that like early on, and you've done such a good job. I mean, you've coached everyone with all different numbers of kids and no kids and whatever. And I think you've done a great job.
And they love you and they see great results and sustainable
Guys,
change.
Pumping my tires right now. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
The difficult thing is, the other thing, following on from your question, is, listen, we love our clients, we love our gals, but people think they're working hard in their training sessions. They think that they're pushing themselves. I'm like, girl, get another 5 pounds on that barbell and push.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a lack of confidence or lack of experience, or, like, people think that they're pushing hard. But I'll tell clients, I said, if I was there with you in person looking over your shoulder, would that set have been the same? And they're like, oh, maybe I would.
Even if you are, like, I think that's one of the best things about us having the in-person training experience too, because, even when you're training somebody in person, they never know how strong they are until we push them. And then they're like, oh, wow, I didn't think I could do a few more. But because you're here, I tried, right? Because we're pushing them. And that's when we're there with them in person. So I think that's really, really valuable, having that background. Do you feel like you utilize your in-person training skills quite a bit with your online coaches, or with your online clients? Sorry.
Yeah, I do. I like to, because I am a broken record. Send me videos. It's like what I've been able to pick up from in-person coaching as a coach and as a client as well, when I've had my own trainer in person, you do lose that ability to be able to correct cues on the spot, or being able to assess intensity. So if clients are paying for an online coaching program, if you're not stepping up to the plate with training in terms of the willingness to want to learn more and improve that technique, I feel like you may as well flushing your money down the toilet. Like, use the coaches, not just from the nutritional aspect or the habit building perspective and all those building blocks, but I learned the most out of having my own coach, him giving me so much technique feedback, which then I'm able to pass along to clients. So, like, use your coaches to take your training to another level. That's what I would say to prospective clients, current clients, whoever's looking to get
everybody. Yeah, people are leaving results on the table all the time from that. And I think it's just like a matter of them going through the motions and being like, well, I have exercised for 10 years. And it's like, yeah, but what exercises have you done? So just because somebody has been going to exercise classes, they assume that they know everything in terms of technique, but they've never actually followed an effective strength training program. They've never actually pushed they don't know what a set to failure looks like, because they've never done it before. So I think that's huge.
I love doing form check videos for like clients who are further along who maybe they don't need form necessarily correction on their deadlift, but they'll send me a set and I'm like, dude, come on, you can do way heavier than
Was
that.
this a warm up? Yeah. Like, is this a warm up set?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're sending you your warm up, send me a real set. And they're like, what?
But that's like not trying to be a drill sergeant or trying to be a pain in the ass. It's like, I genuinely, when I give clients a kick up the ass, I'm like, do you know how much I want this for you? Like, do you know how much I want to see you elevate and go to the next level and get the results that you're after? And so if you're sitting there spinning your wheels, I'm not doing my job as a coach, and I know that there's more potential in you. So let's come together and like.
And if you're doing these workouts anyway, we want you to make the most out of your results during that time. Like, we're not telling you have to lift 6 days a week and you have to do that. It's like, okay, we're having people work out 2 to 4 days a week. During that session, we just want it to be effective. We want to get you results. That's why.
Yeah. Love it. Okay. What has been your favorite thing about training online versus in person now that you've been doing online for over a year?
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I don't love it.
No.
I don't love it. I don't love it. But what it is, the massive positive, and it goes again to the social media thing. I'm not meant to be living on the internet, okay? But what you can do is reach a lot more people. And the flexibility, like, you know, if you're doing in person, I do small group training. So we have up to 4 or 5 people at once. But if you're doing like one-on-one personal training, you have an hour booked out for each person and you can maybe see 6 people in a day. Whereas I can communicate with 30 of them or whoever's sending me technique videos, do their programming, customize their programming a little bit more closely. Actually, I think it's also seeing them really enjoy their programs, because before I have a new program set up for the client, I will message them and be like, what did you like about the last cycle? What didn't you like? What exercises would you like to see in there purely from an enjoyment factor? Because if I just program anything and everything and they hate the exercise, they're not likely to be as engaged and push as hard, versus if it's something like, if they love a leg press, great, I'll throw 4 sets of that, 4 sets of that in there for them. So I like that aspect. It can be more customizable and personalized and you can reach more people. But I have such a laugh with my in-person clients when I'm there with them in the gym, and you just like, it's just a vibe.
Energy. It's like real.
Yeah, it's energy.
Yeah, for sure. And it definitely can get lost. Well, I mean, I guess it can go either way depending on the person, but you definitely can lose obviously some of that connection factor with not having that, like, you know, in-person face-to-face connection on a, I mean, obviously we have check-ins, but with the actual person. So I can totally understand that. And I think I have the same feelings that you do in terms of like, there's something different about in person, but it is so rewarding to be able to help so many people from different countries and all of the things. You know, in the online.
Well, and to be able to help them from a value standpoint. So like when Jill first reached out to me about working with her, I was like, maybe I'll take like 5 clients, but I love what I do in-person training. I love it. And I trained somebody in person today. I subbed for another trainer and it was my first time in person in months. I enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy it. What I didn't realize was how much value I could give a client online, because I thought, oh, well, if I'm not there teaching them form techniques and doing corrective exercises with them when they're having a mobility issue or whatever, I thought, oh, they're not going to get that good of a value from me online. I wasn't thinking about the fact that, well, when I was in person, I see somebody 3 times a week for 45 minutes to an hour, and then they go home and they go back to whatever unhealthy habits they have in the rest of their life. Whereas with this type of coaching, we're writing their programming for them. Yes, we have to do Zoom calls or FaceTimes for me to see them physically, but I feel like they're changing their whole life a lot more. I feel like my clients' results are overall healthier because we're talking about their sleep and their stress, and they are highly motivated and interested. They're signing up with us because they care about improving their nutrition versus just, well, I see a trainer 3 times a week and I'm getting strong, which is great, right? I have my in-person clients saw physical results too, but I feel like in this modality, we're really changing the whole person's life.
Yes. No, I agree in terms of like coaching holistically as a whole. I was thinking more just from the training perspective, but you're so right. Like after someone leaves in training, when people leave out of the gym, I was like, hey, you better have a high protein breakfast when you get home. I will know if you don't. Like I will yell it out across the gym. And that's just to like give them a little nugget of extra information nutrition wise. Whereas online, I got access to everything. I can see.
We're digging deep. All the data. We see every breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, and how many reps and weights you lifted.
Correct. Yeah. Yes, that's a massive positive with online coaching for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
And you get to talk to us every day. So there's that.
Obviously.
Added bonus. So you
get to wake up to 25 texts from me every single morning. Christina, I miss you. Are you sleeping? Good morning.
Why haven't you answered yet? And she's like, it's 2:30 in the morning. And we're like, oh, we're bored though. We want to talk. But we need to talk now. It's really important. You're 14 hours ahead, right?
Yes. Yeah, 14 hours ahead.
Yes, 14 hours ahead of us in EST. And I will say, well, like one of the things initially that Christina and I talked about when she came on, like I was like, I don't know about this like time change. Like, I don't know how we're going to do this. I was super nervous about clients. There has not been a single moment that I have scheduled anything for Christina and she has ever like said like, oh, let me look at what time it is here or whatever. Like, no, not a freaking single speed bump since day one with like check in with clients or letting them know when you'll communicate back to them or what is your response time. And like, so you somehow don't even know like the day difference just like off the top of your head. And I'm like, God, I'm still like counting the hours and like trying to figure out the date in Australia. And you guys do it backwards and weird. And you're just like, you're on.
I'm so on it. I could tell you what time it is in the East Coast, and then I know the Nebraska people and like 1 hour behind, and then I got like 2 people in California. I'll have to Google it because I can't keep track of that.
She's converting the barbell lifts to pounds.
Yeah. I'm operating in Fahrenheit instead of Celsius. Like it has been a lifestyle change over here.
I know, and I remember with the dates. Because we do month, day, year, and you were like, can I flip this? This doesn't mean anything to me.
No. Yeah, no idea. Is it the 12th of December or is it the 1st of January? Why do you need that puzzle? I don't need to crack the case here. Just keep it succinct day, month, year.
I just like, okay, here's a question. And I actually was explaining this to my 11-year-old the other day, writing his date in his paper. Christina, what's the date today? You say the full date.
It's the 31st of August, 2024.
See, and if you asked me that, I would be like, oh, it's August 30th. So it's like literally how we say it.
Yeah.
That's funny. I thought I was going to trick you and you answered wrong. So
be for real. Be so for real. Come on.
Okay. Fun questions. Do we have any more valuable?
This is very serious. I was surprised.
You got to spice it up a little bit.
I embarrassed myself with my 3 intros, so I had to reel it back in and put my professional cap on.
Okay. This is just a random, what's your like generally speaking favorite meal? And there's going to be some follow up to this. What's your favorite meal?
My favorite meal ever?
Yeah.
It's
like
what
it's
if we guess? Can we guess? Can you play the newlywed game between me and Christina? And can you see if I can guess all of her favorite things?
Okay, go for it.
I feel like it might be Thai food. I feel like it might be pad Thai or donuts. It could go either way.
I love donuts.
I think you're with me because those are my 2 favorites.
She just got back from Thailand.
Yeah. Okay. No. So if I had to nail down one meal, it would be like a seafood tomato-based pasta with
Diablo. We are food soulmates.
Yeah.
Hit it with like some extra buttered garlic bread. Yeah. Hit it with like a couple of entrees before that, a dessert for sure. But yes, I think pasta. Yeah, like a pasta garlic bread is where my heart it lies. If I had to pick one.
Okay. You've been to the US before. What?
Chipotle. I love it. Sorry, what was the question? I still think about it 189 times a day.
Why? It's just not, it's inferior.
It's just because, no, it's great, but we've been there that many times. Because I remember the first time I ever had it, and I came home we did a field trip to DC, and I was like, I went to the best restaurant of all time, and at the time the burritos were like $5, and you guys know, like loaded up with. I have a 2-pound burrito for $5, and it was so good.
Best restaurant. It's like Michelin star to Jessie.
Okay, sorry. She's funny when people are logging Chipotle, because I've heard her video responses to her clients where they log it as like, I don't know, 500 or 600 calories, and she's like, no, I've seen Jessie's Chipotle. I know that thing's at least 2,000 calories.
100%. Stop lying to yourself and me. Like, we know it's more than that. Sorry, what was the actual question?
It was along those lines. I was going to ask you about like foods that like, okay, we know you're coming to visit Jess and I soon. So what things do you want to eat when you come here that like you can't have there?
Everything.
I mean, I know Chipotle now, so we'll definitely on the list.
So the food that you guys have on hand is wild. It's wild. Because I've been to the US a couple of times. One was through my university, and then the other one was a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. And the sheer serving sizes, I was like, hey, what is this? This is my meal prep for 3 days. Like,
this is why we're obese.
Yeah,
it's
as
insane.
A nation.
And I remember like walking through, we call them petrol stations. Do you guys call them gas stations?
Gas station.
Walking through the gas station, and I was like covered with varieties of chocolate and junk, and just like everything was accessible all the time. I would love it, but I'll be honest, like if I had to live in that variety long term, like we were driving down the street and there was a different chain of something on every corner, I would really struggle like with my nutrition, with my body weight, just because I have like a decent amount of self-control, but just the sheer access as a tourist coming in as a visitor, I'm like, give me everything times 100. But if it was every day, I'd be like, guys, I kind of get it. Like it's tough, and it's tough to find like healthier, more whole foods just because everything else is so much like in front of your face.
Yes.
But yeah, sorry. If I was there, I want everything. I needed to try cheesecake at Cheesecake Factory. Is that even good? I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
It's not.
We'll take you somewhere else for cheesecake.
We'll take you to way better places than the chains.
And I just want like core, like Fairlife products, basically until I explode.
Don't have those. Oh, what did you ask for from Trader Joe's recently?
The Trader Joe's everything but the Chipotle seasoning. I basically would like dry scoop that shit. It's so good.
Love it. Yeah, we need to send you a shipment of all Trader Joe's things, I think.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay. What are some things that you think Americans say or do that are weird?
Or more specifically, if you want, Jill, what things does Jill do that you think are weird?
Or Jess, I mean, whatever.
Well, I'd like to keep my employment with Fueled, so I'm going to be very careful with my word selection.
You roasted me on your stories like 2 months ago. It was like backhanded.
Because of your activewear selection?
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Say again?
Christina was like, gosh, I hate when girls do that. And I was like, why don't you just tag me next time?
Well, I said what I said, okay? Yeah. Well, I don't know, weird things that you guys do. You guys are very, very like USA, like all the time with everything. I'm like, you guys can chill. Like, it's not that big of a deal. They're like, nah. Like your husband, Anthony, Jill, will know nothing about the Olympics, yet I'm still getting screenshots of the medal tally. I'm like, name me 5 current gold medalists, Anthony. He would be scratching his head. He wouldn't have any idea. So you guys like ride
That's
hard
true,
for
actually.
the US.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of our husbands came hard at Christina. Yeah.
Like right now, I love you guys. We're having this discussion, but you're keeping me from watching the US Open tennis. And I feel like I would love it more than Like, I would love US Open tennis more than any of you guys.
Oh, you said you want to go, right? Like, that's like a big thing for you.
That would be a fun reason to visit.
Yes, get me into
Make it a thing.
Stadium. It's a life goal. I love, it's not weird, it's because I'm jealous, your culture around, what do you guys do around football? And you guys have like your trunk barbecues or in
tailgate. A tailgate.
What do you call it? Oh,
Tailgate.
Trunk barbecue.
It's officially a trunk barbecue going forward. That's for sure. Absolutely the new name.
Yes. Oh, and the other. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is what I can't stand. Please don't come for me because I love the community. One. Is this the social media bio thing? Is that what you had in mind?
No, we didn't have anything in mind. We just wrote these questions because we want you to speak from the heart.
Okay, what I have noticed about the middle-aged mum community in the US is they're all like, mummy to baby Braylon, Todd, and Carter, wife and mommy. It's like, okay. Like, you just, like, do we need the marital status in the bio on social media? For me, I don't. And, like, lover of Jesus, and they have, like, the cross. I'm like, great. I just wouldn't put it in, it's not my personality. You know, I wouldn't put it in my bio, per se. So that's one cultural thing I've noticed. So
I'll continue while you do that. I'm going to actually pull up your Instagram bio while we're on here.
Oh, yeah. Let's read it for fun.
Okay.
Also, wait, just so you know, when you visit next summer, my best friend lives in New York, and we could just stay with her and go to the US Open. We went there for a beer festival before. Like, I've been on those tennis courts, but not for any tennis.
Well, I'll do the tennis. You can do everything else.
I'll do the bacon and beer festival.
Trunk barbecue, and I'll go to
trunk barbecue.
That's what made me think of that, actually. When you said a trunk barbecue, I was like, I think I went to a bacon and beer fest there once.
I love this. No, your bio is very professional and lovely, and I can't even talk shit on you, actually, so I'm just going to put my phone down. Okay. Jess, any other questions for her?
No, anything? No.
You sounded unsure.
I was trying to think of other, like, sayings and things that we love, because we like have this repertoire going. Every Monday we have a team call and we learn new words from Christina, but I can't think of any offhand, so I don't want to.
Well, we know one that Christina's going to close out this podcast today with.
Well, I hope this conversation went well, because you guys don't know this, but I think I might try to be infiltrating. Maybe it's coming in as a bit of a third co-host. I see this very much as a mind pump setup. Yeah. And I consider myself a Justin Andrews. Very, very, yes.
Anthony redeemed himself tonight for you, I think. So I said I have to go down at 9 to record with Jess and Christina. And he was like, next time I think it'd be really cool to do it in person. And I'll just like build you guys out a room and you can just do it.
Of course he would.
Together. I was like,
love that.
Tell Christina about this idea.
Love that. I'll come in, say something useful every now and then and provide a little bit of comedic relief. I'll kick back, let Sal and Adam, aka you
Sal's
two,
so annoying. I know who I am. I know my place, okay? And I know
you are so like, Adam.
Let me just chime in. Adam is my favorite.
Jill's
Adam because she's cool.
Christina has a favorite.
I like her. Who's your favorite? No. Her favorite's Justin.
No,
Adam's my favorite.
So listen, there's who you relate with as a favorite, and then there's who you want to like. Who wants to? So I'm short circuiting, but like I need Sal to just hold me, like just hold me tight. I just need him to embrace my little 5'7"
Sal
body.
is my dad. Sal is my dad. He just has to tell you about the book that he just read, and he can't get it. He can't hold it down anymore because he has to tell you all the information you just learned about. And I have that same instinctual impulse in me. So it annoys me because it's like a mirror. I'm seeing my family when I hear him speak.
Feel the same.
Jess,
that's not familial love from you.
I don't need him to talk to me when he's holding me, like it's just, that's the differentiation here. Yeah. This just took a little sharp right. And then
that's how I feel about it. Yeah.
hold on. I want to find what Christina said about.
Oh my God, no, don't.
Please do.
She said, the way I want Sal to lay on me and beat my ribs, every last one of them. That was about approximately 48 hours ago.
Well, they're not like vital to my survival. I don't need all my ribs. Come on.
No, Sal, break a few. It's fine.
I can't believe you pulled up that DM. You just, Jill bought receipts.
I mean, listen. You guys are all about some good blackmail.
If you want to be a co-host, then you need to bring it.
Yeah, okay.
All of it is fair game. This is lovely, and I'm sure the people will speak and vote for you to also be a host because this is lovely. And also, they can hear more of your description of things because I'm vulgar and stuff, but like your vulgar is different. Like Australia's like classy vulgar, you know?
Not ratchet.
It's like Americans a little more ratchet, and yours is like elevated. Like you insult people and roast them so hard, but so elegantly that you're like not even actually sure if you were just roasted or not. That's how I would describe your insults.
Okay, I will take that. Listen, if you ever want to have me back, I will be back. I will roast and I will be the most elegant. Yeah, the most elegant vulgar person you've ever had on the podcast.
Okay, well, by special request of Jessica, she would like Christina to close out the day and the episode with a special saying that she says. So
whenever we share something that's good news with Christina, or like
what's like adjacent of this so people know.
Like if a American says like, I don't know, like right on, or like, I don't know, like
hell yeah.
It's like a hell yeah. Okay. This is what Christina says back to us in voice memo anytime we text her something that's like a super cool win.
Okay.
Yes. Well, I am the hype woman. So this is for everyone to take away and implement. So in Australia, if something happens and you're like, hell yeah, heck yeah, we say fucking oath.
And now Jess does it all the time.
All the time. It's OATH, oath, for anyone who didn't catch that.
And you got to say it like an Aussie, fucking oath. Or
Aussie. I love that she said that too. Aussie.
So like, no, that's if you say it. Do you get that? No, with all the vowels of the alphabet. Yes. So fucking oath. Thank you for having me on. It has been super, super fun. I'm very excited for this to come out.
Me too. Thanks so much for hanging with us, whatever time it is there. I know it's Saturday for you. Oh my gosh, you are a superhuman. See, this is I don't even know. I just give you a time and I'm like, be here. And you're like, cool. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you. And until next time, see you later, guys.
Bye.